In a world where the government controls its people's emotions, one couple decides to explore these complicated feelings. However, they soon experience the pain and chaos of being human. In a waiting room, the despondent Frank watches a commercial for the Our Friends campus. The founder asks the viewers if they're content with their lives, but then answers matter-of-factly by stating that no one is ever completely satisfied. The man adds that all the complicated human emotions, such as grief, fear, anxiety, pain, and shame, are too much for any reasonable person to bear. Then, he shares that the Our Friends campus was designed as a prototype community, with a quality of life better than anywhere else in the world. Residents are expected to live and work in a peaceful and stable environment, free of illness, wars, and all the emotional inconveniences that have plagued humanity. The founder promises that once the viewer enters the compound, all their dark feelings and painful memories will be washed away, allowing them to begin a new life of perfect contentment. He hopes that with the help of the volunteers, they can soon implement their vision throughout the rest of the world, implying that the Our Friends campus is an experimental society. Moments later, Frank places his personal items, including pictures of him with his ex-girlfriend, into a metal lockbox. Then, he places the container inside a small incinerator, and as an automated voice counts down to the destruction of his belongings, the anxious man throws up in the nearby trash can. Inside the secluded community, Joy wakes up from a dream when her assigned life partner, William, asks if she's content. The woman calmly answers yes, and he echoes her sentiment just before they go about their morning routine of yoga and washing up in the bathroom. As the man exits the shower, he gently bumps into Joy and, in a monotone voice, apologizes for touching her. Later, they each take a white and blue vitamin capsule with their breakfast smoothie. Suddenly, an alert appears on TV telling Joy to report for her Wellness Connect appointment after work. That afternoon, the doctor informs the woman that she has tumors along her spine. However, the physician says they have an injection that can cure her, but she'll have to stop taking the vitamin for one day following the treatment for it to take full effect. Confused, the patient states that everyone needs to take the vitamin every day, but the doctor assures her it won't be a big deal and that she doesn't have to tell anyone. The next day, an alert appears on the TV reminding the couple about their friend's social gathering after work. While William takes his medication, Joy refrains from ingesting hers as per the physician's orders. After work, the woman finally tells her partner about her medical diagnosis and how treatment requires her to skip the vitamin for one day. Though perplexed with the unusual change in routine, and Joy admitting that she feels strange, the man thinks everything should return to normal tomorrow when she's back on the regimen. As they head to their friend's place, William asks their sick neighbor Morgan if she's content, but she annoyedly tells them to leave her alone. In Samantha and Christopher's apartment, they meet the new couple, Frank and Michelle, who replaced the previous pair in their cohort. When Frank asks Joy if she likes being a waste management engineer, she immediately says no, but after seeing the confused looks on the others' faces, she backtracks and says yes. Seconds later, a man drops off a baby carriage by the door, and Samantha and Christopher introduce their daughter Beth. Suddenly, she coos happily, confounding everyone in the room. The mother searches for an explanation on her device and learns that odd noises and facial leaks are common prior to administering the first dose of the infant vitamin. Then, Samantha gives the child the initial dose, and Beth's cheerful disposition is immediately replaced by a blank look, implying that the government-mandated daily vitamins suppresses the residents' emotions. The next day, an alert on TV asks the couple if they'd like to have their baby delivered after work, indicating that people in the community don't have children the usual way. William wants to click yes, but his partner suggests they take a few days before making a decision. Even though Joy tells the man that she's taking the vitamin today, she secretly decides against it, curious about the strange feelings she's experienced in the past 24 hours. After he leaves for work, she stands in front of the bathroom mirror and giggles uncontrollably while making funny faces. That evening, William finds his partner outside their apartment building and notes her unusual behavior. Eventually, the woman admits that she didn't take her vitamin that morning and says she'd like him to feel what she's feeling by disregarding the medication as well. The man seems apprehensive, so she promises to return to their normal routine the day after tomorrow. The next day, the restless William doesn't understand what's happening to his body after skipping the vitamin. Joy asks him how he's feeling, and when he says he's hungry, she hands him a breakfast smoothie. After one sip, the man admits that he finds it unappetizing, much to the woman's delight. William chuckles upon hearing Joy's infectious giggles, but he confesses that he finds the unfamiliar emotion scary. The next morning, while the woman brushes her teeth by the sink, the man steps out of the shower and shows her something unusual happening to his body. Eventually, the couple explores their bodies and realizes that intimately touching each other is a pleasurable experience. Soon, they make love on the living room floor, and Joy says they have to tell the others about their discovery. That evening, the pair meets up with their friends, and when Christopher points out their strange behavior, the couple finally admits that they haven't been taking their vitamins and are now feeling things. The friends don't understand what they're talking about, so William says it's like the world just seems brighter. Joy acknowledges that they're doing a poor job describing their situation, so they decide to do the deed in front of the others. After making love, the woman says that they've decided to call the intimate act sinking. However, the medicated couples just stare blankly at William and Joy, uninterested in their demonstration. Later that night, an officer intercepts the pair because neither of them has shown up to work in the past 3 days. So, Joy lies and says they both simply lost track of time because of the new videos shown on TV. Though skeptical, the officer ends her interrogation of the couple if they promise to show up to work tomorrow. The next day, the woman sees 2 officers apprehend a man outside a building. Seconds later, she receives an alert on her device asking if she's content, but she chooses to ignore it. In the office, the woman closes the curtains and stands on the desk so she can hear the noises coming from the welcome center above. Suddenly, she receives an alert on her phone asking if a vacation could help her stay focused at work. That afternoon, Joy pays Morgan an unexpected visit, but the neighbor just warns her not to let the officers know that she's awake, implying that she also hasn't been taking the vitamins. Days later, the pair joins their couple friends on a vacation to a lakeside cabin. Once they arrive, Joy says she's heading down to the water, confusing the others, who remind her that there's much cleaner water inside the house. While taking a stroll by the shore, the woman stops when she sees a warning sign telling her not to proceed further. Later that day, Samantha, Christopher, Michelle, and Frank wonder why they can't find the vitamins in the cabin. Joy and William feign ignorance, but their exchange of knowing looks suggests that they're responsible for the medication's disappearance. Frank asks Christopher what they should do since the shuttle isn't returning until tomorrow, so the latter assures everyone that they'll probably be fine without the vitamins for a day. That afternoon, the group hangs out in the yard where the others begin feeling complex emotions directed at their respective partners. That evening, Joy and William guide the couples and give them pointers as they make love for the first time. However, a disappointed Samantha tells the woman that she doesn't think she's doing it right. So, Joy explains that there are other ways for her and Christopher to be intimate, and that she doesn't have to do anything that she doesn't want to. The next day, on the shuttle ride back to the campus, William and Joy finally kiss for the first time. On her first day back at work, the woman opens a metal lockbox, even though it's prohibited, and finds a heart-shaped pendant with "Nick loves Sarah" engraved on the back. During a social gathering, Michelle shares that she had 2 smoothie packets yesterday just because she could, and Frank says he wanted to burn the building down after waiting in line for 17 minutes. Moments later, Samantha apologizes for the baby's crying and admits that they took the child off the infant vitamin and didn't sleep last night. Suddenly, Frank lets out an annoyed yelp, but he quickly apologizes and explains that vocally expressing his frustration helps him deal with the emotions. Days later, Joy wonders what happens in the welcome center, so Christopher, who's up for a promotion, says he can get the woman into some restricted areas to investigate. While William opposes the plan, his partner assures him that she won't get in trouble because the building's completely empty after hours. That night, Joy and Christopher sneak into the welcome center and watch a video of the founder explaining how they plan on using decades of data to introduce the vitamin to the rest of the world. Overwhelmed by the information, the woman leaves the room but gets locked inside a corridor. Suddenly, a loud alarm blares, and even Christopher's keycard won't open the door from the other side. Soon, Joy's taken to a room where a high-ranking Our Friends official speaks to her about her transgression. The mysterious woman expresses her concern about the rogue resident and admits she thought of moving her to another sector. When Joy asks why they're being forced to take the vitamin, the lady clarifies that no one's being forced to do anything. She adds that they find her recent behavior disruptive because she's seizing control from Samantha and Christopher, her cohort's natural leaders. Joy denies the allegation and insists that she isn't controlling anyone, but the official reiterates that she should start taking her vitamins again because she'll only be displeased with the consequences. That evening, the friends discuss whether they should start taking the medication again. Samantha thinks they can keep skipping the vitamins because no one's forcing them anyway, but Frank worries about being moved to a different sector. Eventually, William says they just need to be more careful moving forward, which means they can't miss work or break any more rules and just do what they're supposed to while out in public. The next day, Joy visits Morgan, and in the living room, she sees an alert asking the neighbor if she's ready for a new partner. The sick woman then shares that she and her former partner also stopped taking the vitamin at the same time. She says it was exciting because it allowed her to feel emotions and get to know her friends. Morgan states that they tried to blend in with everyone else as long as they could, but they still slipped up. So the officers took her partner away, and he never came back. Joy wonders what it's like beyond the community's borders, but the neighbor says she needs to decide if knowing the truth about the world is more important than being content in ignorant bliss. Later, William expresses his disappointment at his partner for not informing him that she was speaking with Morgan, especially since they all agreed to be more careful. Joy points out that our friends controls their whole lives, such as what they say and who they're partnered with. William takes offense and wonders if she didn't want to be paired up with him, so she clarifies that she would have wanted a choice in the matter. Moments later, Samantha and Christopher arrive with a proposition, syncing with each other's partners. However, while Joy and Christopher do the deed in the bathroom, the visibly upset William doesn't make a move on Samantha. During the next social gathering, the man shares that he didn't like it when his partner synced with his friend. Perplexed, Joy reminds him that he was fine with the arrangement, and although he remembers agreeing to it, he felt a pain he'd never felt before. The woman apologetically says that she didn't mean to hurt him, and Christopher admits that he likes Joy and wants to sync with her more than anyone else. Upon hearing her partner's confession, Samantha states that the person she feels the most connection with is Michelle, who says she feels the same way. Confused, Frank reminds the women that he's with Michelle, but to his disappointment, his partner admits that she doesn't want to be with him. Furious, the heartbroken man blames Joy for everything that's gone wrong and fears they'll all be moved to different sectors for their transgressions. When Frank lunges at Michelle, Christopher and William try to stop him, and in the ensuing scuffle, he falls and hits his head on the floor. Later, the group carries the unconscious man back to the apartment so they won't get caught. When Joy tells Michelle that her partner's going to be okay, the latter starts humming a soft tune, a skill she only discovered a few nights ago. That night, William asks Joy if she's going to leave him for Christopher, much to her surprise. The woman reiterates that she'd never do such a thing since he's her partner. However, the man remembers her saying that she wished she had a choice. He adds that if she doesn't want to be with him, she should tell him now, because he'd rather take the vitamin. So, Joy assures William that she only wants to be with him and promises never to sync with Christopher again. Relieved by her decision to remain loyal, the man kisses his partner, and they make love. The next day, the woman sees the open door leading to Morgan's apartment, but when she enters, she realizes that the space has been assigned to another couple. That afternoon, Joy runs into Frank and Michelle, and, from their emotionless behavior, deduces that they've started taking the vitamins again. Meanwhile, Samantha can no longer take the baby's incessant crying, and although her partner disagrees, she administers the infant vitamin anyway. The next day, William overhears Christopher asking to speak to his partner in private. The pair head out of the apartment, and the man asks Joy if she's content with William. However, she counters that she doesn't think her partner's content with her. Then, Christopher confesses that he wants to spend all his time with her, and adds that when he gets the promotion, they'll be completely protected and allowed to be together. As the smitten man makes a move on the apprehensive Joy, she spots her partner watching them and immediately pushes him away. When she returns to the apartment, she sees several empty vitamin packets on the table and realizes what William has done. Eventually, the man emerges from the bedroom, and his monotone voice confirms her suspicions. Even though the distraught woman tries to touch him, he gently reminds her that she's being inappropriate. Later that day, the high-ranking official tells Joy that William is doing well and remains in their apartment. She adds that Frank has been moved to a sector where they place the undesirable inhabitants, and that Michelle will be paired with another man. Then, the woman wonders if they're going to make her disappear, just like they did to Morgan and her partner. However, to her surprise, the official reveals that her neighbor's been sick for a while, and her partner was promoted and chose to leave her behind. Eventually, the official states that despite the vitamin's effectiveness, some people still have core tendencies that find their way to the surface. She adds that they identify potential for future officials by providing candidates with opportunities for clarity. Joy realizes that the treatment was simply a test that she passed because she chose to pursue knowledge that she shared for the benefit of others, or withheld said information for their comfort. Nevertheless, the woman says she just wants to see William, but the official reminds her that she knows deep down that the man she knew disappeared the moment he took the vitamins. The older woman adds that whether Joy accepts the promotion or not, her former partner is getting paired with someone else. In her new lavish home reserved for our friend's officials, she's expected to focus on learning in the first year and won't be allowed to have a partner or a cohort. In the study, Joy watches a video of the founder stating that her main objective is to help stabilize the growing community, while enabling everyone within to thrive. Given her new position, she's warned that any interaction with her previous cohort will result in termination. For the next few months, she spends most of her time consuming educational and entertaining media, such as documentaries on human reproduction, romantic movies, and music. Despite all the knowledge at her fingertips, Joy still can't shake the crippling loneliness and how much she misses her former partner. One day, she heads to the apartment and enters the bedroom, even though the man now lives with a new partner. Joy slowly approaches William, and with tears in her eyes, states that she now knows that what they felt for each other was love. She acknowledges that she hurt the man and apologizes for ruining what they had, especially since he's the only person she cares about. Then, the woman reveals that she's pregnant with his child, and though she knows it'll never happen, she wishes they could share a life in the real world outside the campus, even though the very thought terrifies her. However, to her surprise, William says he's glad she came to see him, and reveals that he never took the vitamins on that fateful day, and only pretended to, because he thought she wanted to be with Christopher. To escape the campus, the couple runs through the forest until they reach the cabin. Then, they head to the shore where Joy saw the warning sign earlier and cross the border. Though uncertain about the unfamiliar world outside the sheltered community, Joy and William know that all that matters now is that they're free to celebrate their love however they choose.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.